everyone, welcome to our channel Technologia. So today we will solve a problem on LeetCode for database, that how to combine two tables. So as you can see that in this table its name is person and the column names and data type has been given. So there are three columns basically named as person ID, last name, first name, and also their data types are as person ID is int, which is basically the primary key here, and the last name is varchar, and first name is also varchar. So as I have said that it is already given that person ID is the primary key. It is basically the columns which has the unique values. This is basically used for combining two tables, which is basically our question. So this table contains information about the ID of some persons and their first and last names. Okay, so now we can see that there is a table which is as named as address, and it is also having column name and data type. So this is the person table which it is given that it has the person ID, which is basically the ID of the particular person, and what is the name of the person as the full name, and then it is divided into two parts as first name and last name. And also the address table is there, that where the person is actually living. So it is also like having column name and data type as address ID, person ID. These both are int. Here address ID is basically the primary key and person ID is basically the foreign key. As you can notice here that this person ID and this person ID are same. It is present in both persons table and as well as address table. So here this person ID is the primary key and this person ID is the foreign key, which would basically help us in joining the two tables, in combining them. And also this address has city and state, which are having the data types as varchar. So as you can see that address ID is the primary key, what is given in the question that I have already told, and each row of this table contains the information about the city and state of one person with ID is equals to person ID. Okay, so these both tables are related with each other. So what we have to do? It is given here that write a solution to report the first name, last name, city and state of each person in the person table. If the address of a person ID is not present in the address table, report null instead. Okay, if the address is not present, then we have to report it null. Okay, then return the result table in any order. The result table can be returned in any order. The order doesn't matters here. Okay, the result format is in the following example. So example is given here, like having an input, what the input would be given, and what our code's output should be there. So it should match the expected output. What our output is coming, it should match the expected output that is already given on the LeetCode server. So for this we can see as it is the person table and the address table. So two tables are there as we have seen already earlier. So it is having three columns. The person table, you can see here these three columns, person ID, last name and first name are there. So this is the primary key here. And for address table, this is having four of the columns as address ID, person ID, city, state. So this is the primary key of address table, this address ID, and the person ID is this primary key for person table, and here the person ID, which is common in both the tables, this is the foreign key. So this would basically be taken help for combining the both tables. Now we will see the output. So in the output, what we need is first name, last name, city, state. So like if you can see that first name is here, last name is here in person table, and city is in address table, state is also in address table. So in this way we have to get the column names in this order. Okay, so in the output, the first row and in the second row, as we can see that it is in the first row, it is Ellen, it is here Wang, it is here city and state. City is null and state is also null. So it is basically like person ID 1 2. Okay, and here the person ID is 2 3. So 3 is not present here, and we have to combine these both. So as you can see the explanation, that there is no address in the address table for the person ID is equals to 1. So we return null in their city and state. So as you can see in this, for Ellen Wang, this is having the person ID 1, but person ID 1 is not present in the address table. So its address is coming as null. And for this Bob Alice, you can see Bob Alice, it is having the person ID 2, and this person ID 2 is present in address table also, having city as New York City and state as New York. You can see here it is having New York City and New York as the state. So address ID is equals to 1 contains information about the address of person ID is equals to 2. Okay, so as you can see that this question is even asked in the real interview before, and out of 2 million responses for the question's answer, approximately 16 lakh 5,909 solutions have been accepted. So the basically the acceptance rate is 78.9% for this question. So now we will try to solve the question. So we are going to solve it in MySQL. So first of all, we can see that how the output table looks. So for this we have to basically start with writing a select query. Let's select, and what is there? First name. We can see that first name is here in the person table. So we will write that person, the table's name, person dot, that we are accessing this table's this column. This should be present here. So person dot first name, it should be written in the similar way as it is written there. Person dot first name, that then you can see that last name is here and the last name is here. So in the same way we can access it from here. So in the same way, person dot last name, comma, city. Where is the city present now? The city is present in the address table. So likewise we will do that, address dot city, and in the similar way for state, it is also present in the address table. So in the similar way we can access it too, address dot state. Now it is given that it is in this format the columns will come from. Now these we will select from which table? From both the tables. So we have to combine them, we have to join them. Okay, so from person table, and also here this should be considered as left join, so that it can be joined with person table and address table. So from person left join address. Okay, and how it should be joined? So in this way, that the person ID of person table and the person ID of address table should be equal. So here we will write as on person dot person ID is equal to address dot person ID. Now semicolon. Now we will try to run this code. Just waiting for a minute. So here you can see that it has been accepted. As for this case, for this input case, you can see the output is coming as similar as this: ln Wang null null, as because this I have already told this reason, that because the person ID 1 for this person table is not present in the address table, so that's why the city and state is coming as null here. But for the second person ID for person table, it is present in address table also, having person ID as 2. So for this, the city and the state is New York City and New York respectively. So these are coming here also, as you can see. And this output means basically the output that is coming from writing our this code. The code that we have written here, this output is this, and this is the expected output which is basically present on the LeetCode. And they both are like comparing with each other, that they both are same or not. If they are same, then only it would get accepted. So like one of the input test case has been passed, whatever example was given here. Now we will try to run each of the test case. That we can do simply by going and clicking on submit. So it will run each and every test case that is present for this particular question. So just wait for a while, it was just getting submitted. Oh, so yes, bingo, you can see that it has got accepted, and there were basically 8 of the test cases, and for our code all of the test cases have been passed. That is basically 8 out of 8. And how much time it has taken? So it is like 408 millisecond, and it beats according like 29.22% of the coders. So yes, it has now got accepted. So yes, now we have solved one of the questions of database MySQL on LeetCode. So stay tuned with me for having more such questions, and whichever topic you would like, you just tell me in comment, and I will try to make a video on it. So yes, we will meet soon.